when it comes to seller concessions, what are the current max limits for concessions by loan type?
Very good question. And of course, Jeff, I've been around long enough to tell you that when I got into business, there were no limits. And of course, when rates were in the high teens, we would see sellers, and this was both resale market as well as new home builders, sometimes pay an incredible amount of money in concessions, typically points to buy down a rate from, say, 18 to 15. But let me give you what the limits are now. For a conforming conventional loan, these are loans that are sold to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. The typical concessions are, if you put less than 10% down, the limit is 3% of the purchase price of the home. If you're going to put at least 10% down, up to 24.99% down, the seller concession that you can get from a seller, if they agree to it, is 6% of the purchase price. And if you put 25% down or more, you can. It's actually okay for a seller to provide a concession to the buyer. Again, typically in terms of a dollar credit, can be as much as 9% of the purchase price of the home. And then you can get into other loan types. FHA, of course, not for first-time home buyers. Again, anybody can get an FHA loan, and you only need a 3.5% down payment. And when you do that, unlike a conventional conforming loan where you're limited to a 3% seller concession, on an FHA, the seller can provide a concession up to 6% of the price. For VA, the VA loan, which is no down payment, again, you can actually get a concession from the seller of 4% of the purchase price. And then the other common product involving a zero down payment is a USDA loan, also known as rural housing loan. Again, that's a loan that provides for the opportunity for zero down payment, but the property has to be located in certain census tracts that are considered more rural, and that has to do with the population density of where the property is located. That program also allows up to a 6% seller concession limit, again, 6% of the purchase price.
That seems like a large amount, up to 6, and you said even 9% of the purchase price. That seems like that would cover a lot of things financially.
It does. I mean, and you have to be careful, which we'll get into in a minute, as to if you can negotiate some of those higher credit amounts or concession amounts. You've got to be a little bit careful on how that is utilized, because there's another guideline that goes with that can get you in trouble if you're not paying attention. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I was going to say, it sounds like that's something we definitely lean on you to guide us through, right?
Right, exactly.